WSME, Camp Lejeune, Jacksonville, and worldwide at WSME971.com.
You are listening to Sports Talk with Chris Rayner on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hey, welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Chris Rayner, your host. It's Friday morning. I always have the date on the second page, and I never remember the date. April 12th. So happy April 12th, everyone. We got some big stuff going on in Alonzo County this weekend. We're going to talk about that here shortly. Our guest today is Rookie Davis, former Major League pitcher. Thank you, Rookie, for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk. I wanted to get you in right before spring training because I want to talk about some spring training stuff, and I'll elaborate on that more later. Okay. But wanted to get you in and talk about, the baseball season starting. You played for three or four teams. Which one would you call your favorite now?
Yankees.
The Yankees still. Yeah. Okay.
So they gave me the first opportunity, just the way they run their organization, the way that they go about their business. That's not any shade on Cincinnati or Pittsburgh, right. But I don't know. I developed a lot of really good relationships when I was with the Yankees. Scott Lovecamp, the scout that drafted, signed me, developed me. I still keep in contact with him. Okay. So just the way that they go about it.
And we definitely want to get started talking on the baseball season and see who's who this year. I also want to introduce our other two guests. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, your titles and all that so I don't get it wrong. Katie Hettinger. Katie, tell us what you do.
I am, right now, short track race car driver. But I race in the Car Store Series and then also possibly some ARCA stuff. But I'm a Chevy development driver.
Okay. Andy?
Andy Marquis with New River All American Speedway. I handle a lot of the media relations and social media and a lot of that, which I guess this week you could call that chaos coordinator.
I can imagine. I can only imagine tomorrow. And we're going to talk about that big race coming up. First, I do want to hit our sponsors real quick. Sports Talk is powered by the law offices of John Drew Warlick, Rock Creek Golf and Country Club, Golden Corral, the Jones Lonzo EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Barnes Diamond Gallery, National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Bayshore Animal Hospital, and don't forget their new location is now open at 623 East Saviston Drive in Swansboro. Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Lane Associates Family Dentistry, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, and Southern Touch Painting. Also want to thank Helen's Kitchen. They're going to bring us these things here shortly. I forgot to tell y'all you have breakfast coming. Hopefully you'll be able to stay long enough with us to get one. They're these breakfast bowls that are grits, eggs, cheese, and sausage in them, and they're amazing. Thank you to Helen's Kitchen and Billy Grissett for doing that. We also have our Hurricanes Watch coming up. It's sponsored by Downey's Heating and Air. Jason Humphrey and all his team over there to keep your air conditioning up and running this time of year. Any guys hockey fans? Anyone? Not a hockey fan?
A little bit.
Been to some Hurricanes games?
Been to some Florida Everblades games.
Oh, yeah. The minor league team down there?
Down in Fort Myers, yeah.
How about you, Rookie?
No.
Not a hockey fan?
If it's not Miss Rachel right now, I don't see it.
All right, and you can also as part of the Hurricanes Watch, Downey's Heating and Air also sponsors our Wood Ducks report. The Wood Ducks have kicked off the season, so we'll cover how they're doing so far also. You can also find on-demand Sports Talk podcasts at WSME971.com. And wave everyone to Facebook and YouTube today. You can go to our YouTube channel, which is YouTube at WSME Radio, and see all the old broadcasts. You can review this one. If you don't have time to do the whole thing today, you can listen to it later and check it out. We're going to have some guests calling in. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. First of all, Andy, lead us off on give the logistics of the big event this weekend out at the All American Speedway.
So we actually have races tonight and tomorrow. Tonight we've got the Ronnie He2 Memorial. That's the $1,000 to win mini stock race that's held each year in memory of the late Ronnie He2, who passed away from cancer a few years ago. Street stocks will be on tap. Kevin Harvick's kid, Keelan Harvick, will be running in that race, his first in a full-size stock car.
That was tonight? That
is tonight. And then tomorrow, and the Rumblers and the Bombers also on track tonight, and those are a lot of your local guys. Right. You've had Eddie and a few of those guys on before. And then tomorrow's is the ZMAX Cars Tour presented by Sound Gear. National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the is the title sponsor of the race. And then we've also got the Grand National Super Series, Legends and Bandos also in action. Legends are where a lot of these guys started out, and then, well, they were start out in quarter midgets, then they moved to Bandos and Legends and up the ranks. So a lot of those guys, a lot of the people in the Legends cars now will be racing in NASCAR in a few years. Joey Logano came from there along with several others. Darrell Wallace Jr. and quite a few of those guys. The Cars Tour has been it's kind of been the premier short track asphalt touring series in the past few years. Josh Berry, who now races for Kevin Harvick, or replaced Kevin Harvick racing for Tony Stewart. He's won out of there. Carson Quapple, that's my pick to win. Sorry, hard to bet against Carson. Butterbean's going to be running in a truck. He's runs that series full time. Brendan Queen, he's won the last two races.
Sprint car. And so I went to my first race watching him when I was like 3 weeks old. So grew up at the track, and then he's the one that really got me into it.
Well, I'm actually a second generation driver, but I didn't drive. My dad was a big time drag racer, but he got out when he saw a little boy coming up and starting to get into it, and I guess he didn't want me to, be hurtling down there at 200-300 miles an hour. So he went ahead and stopped that. So he got out of it before I got into it. So, but you've been in it all your life, it sounds like.
Yeah. I've always known that since I was running quarter midgets that I wanted to get to NASCAR. That was
quarter midgets.
Always been my goal.
And that's more like a scaled down version of it, right?
Yeah. So I ran. Yeah. So those are on like a really tiny track. So I ran those till I was from when I was 5 to 10, and then I switched to dirt and I ran like micro sprints on dirt for 2 years before getting into junior late models when I was 12.
And where do you hail from? Where did you start all this at?
I'm from Dryden, Michigan, so way up north. And then a year ago, I moved to North Carolina.
Yeah, we don't have that snow that keeps you from racing in the wintertime.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yep.
Now, is this your first time here at I keep want to call it Coastal Plains? It was Coastal Plains for years. The River All American Speedway. Is this your first time here at the Speedway? Now, you raced before. You'll be racing in the same race tomorrow night with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Of course, he's going to be a guest there, and that's going to add a lot of exposure, a lot of eyes on the track. You raced with him before, though. Yeah.
I think I've run against him
Did
like
you whoop
3
him?
times. I think the first race, no. I want to say the second race, I was like right by him, and then we got in a wreck. And then the last race,
you didn't wreck him.
Was it? No, I didn't wreck. You'd be surprised. He races hard against some of the guys. Yeah, he doesn't.
So he brings it on himself then.
I don't know.
When I got out of the parking lot, I was coming in and I saw you guys, and I could tell you were looking for something, so I thought it might be y'all, but it was not the vehicle I anticipated a NASCAR driver to be in. It was a minivan.
Okay.
So that threw me off. It's probably the team's van or something. Okay,
that's what we take to the tracks.
It's like back in the day, we used to go to Darlington every, both races every year, and it was nothing. You ever been to Darlington before, Andy?
I have not.
Track? Oh man, it's like you step back in time. You expect a dinosaur to come piling out of the woods when you're driving the roads down there. But they had this one country store down from the track, and it was nothing to be there on a Saturday race, getting provisions, and to see Terry Labonte or even Earnhardt or some of them pull up in their team dually, their truck dually by themselves, no security guard. They just pull there, get a bag of ice or something and leave. That's just the way old time NASCAR was. Now, things have changed a lot on the cars over the years. Now, you said you started at quarter midgets. You said that was 5 years old, 6 years old, 5.
Yep.
So, wow, you've been racing 11 years and you're only 16 years old.
Yep.
Okay, so the future's bright.
Hopefully.
What do you anticipate? What's the next level? What do you anticipate getting into next?
Hopefully at the end of the year we're gonna run some ARCA races. Well, actually not at the end of the year. Coming up here soon. We're working on that with Team Chevy, and then possibly full-time ARCA and trucks at the end of the year next year. So really, my biggest restriction right now is my age, just because you have to be 18 to run the big tracks. So
that's what I was going to ask. ARCA's more of the bigger tracks, isn't it?
Yeah, ARCA, like the tracks I'm running are small tracks, like up north, like Toledo, Berlin, Flat Rock, some tracks like that. But then in the truck is when you start going to like Phoenix and then those like super speedways, which I can't race yet. But
what is your restriction right now? Is it lengthwise? Is it over a mile, or everything have to be under a mile?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's over a mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever raced at Rockingham before, or done some laps there?
Mm-mm.
You got to do it sometime if you can get the team to work it out. It's an iconic racetrack. Same thing as North Wilkesboro. You don't know the history yet because, let's see, when you were born, NASCAR was going through the big rise NASCAR had. Rookie remembers it. What was it, around 2000 to 2010, where it got that meteoric rise? It got a whole lot of different fans, but a lot of them that didn't stick around.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of races with my dad whenever I was younger. And then he was a big Earnhardt guy, Earnhart Jr., watched him. And then once, I don't know, man, we would watch him every Sunday, and then it just seemed like kind of out of nowhere. We
just got out of it.
Well,
a lot of the stars that we grew up with kind of got out of it. The Rusty Wallaces to Darrell Waltrips, the Dale Jarrett's, the ones like that kind of we grew up. And Earnhardt, of course, when he passed away, a lot of people credit the change in NASCAR and a lot of the fans leaving to when Earnhardt Sr. passed away. That was back in
2001.
Was it 2001 at the Daytona 500?
Well, I'd also say that that was also the time the Fox and NBC deal took, and NASCAR actually saw huge growth from 2001 through 2006 with the TV deal they had. But yeah, I mean, you had Earnhardt and Gordon in the 90s. That was a quintessential rivalry right there, especially because, well, first they kind of did, but they didn't hate each other.
No.
Their fans just hated each other's fan bases. Like Gordon and Earnhardt played that up.
And that's so funny because a lot of fans hated Gordon because he won so much. If you didn't like him, you hated him. I mean, if you weren't your driver, you hated him because he won so much.
Earnhardt and Gordon
later
were also
on,
polar opposites.
Right, but then later on, I think a lot of people, realized how good Gordon was, and they just weren't liking him because he was winning all the time. Kind of like Tiger winning everything in golf. You either love Tiger Woods or you hated him, because if he wasn't your golfer, then he was winning everything.
Well, at some point, you respect greatness, like Tom Brady,
Oh yeah.
Or in baseball, I mean, as a designated Orioles fan at the table, I think of Mariano Rivera, and in his final years, I got to see him play at Camden Yards. And that's an honor just because you respect him, and Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter were on the same team. And it's like you have to respect those guys, even if you boo at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to respect people that put the work into their craft, and they, whether it's personally don't like them, professionally, whatever the case may be, you have to respect the fact that they work that hard to be successful and be great at what they do. So,
and it's funny, we mentioned some of those great names. Those are the ones that, like Brady, obviously the GOAT in the NFL for a lot of people, and a lot of people just hate him because they won so many titles. But that's what makes it. When he left New England and the system they had, and then went to Tampa Bay and won a title with them, I think everybody finally realized,
he was the system.
Yeah, or a big part of it. I think him and Belichick together had that combination. I think we have your buddy calling in, Katie. See if we can get her on the line. Now, you got a little butterflies about this weekend's race? Is it a bigger race than usual or about the same as what you normally race?
I think it's just a little different just because I've never been to this track. So pretty much all the other tracks we go to, I have been to. And this track, it's like we went to practice yesterday, but with the rain, we weren't able to. And so we took the minivan around for a couple laps. But it's like...
How fast did you get the minivan on this? What is it? It's not an 8th mile. 4/10, yeah. So how fast did you get the minivan?
I'll just say we were going 40 in the middle of the corner.
In the middle of the
that's when
corners.
you're going slow.
And it probably did not feel that good either on that track either.
Well, I don't know. It was all right. But
and with the wind blowing, a minivan's a high-profile vehicle anyway.
Yeah.
We got our caller. Okay. Who we got on the line there, caller? Hello, caller. Can you hear
Oh,
us?
it's me. It's Keeley.
Hey, Keeley. Tell us your name and title, Keeley.
Keeley Dubensky, Director of Operations for the ZMAX Car Store.
Sweet. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
What you up to this morning? You couldn't make it in the studio. Thank you, Billy Grissett. Take care. You couldn't make it in the studio. You've got other things going on, I understand, this morning.
Yes. My apologies. When the boss man is racing, things are a little different in the morning.
That's understandable.
But I woke up in Jacksonville. This is one of my favorite stops in the schedule. I suppose I can't necessarily call one of them a favorite, but I love this place. I love this area, and I'm super happy to be here.
And you've been here at the track before?
Yes. We've been coming here, I think, 4 years now.
Okay.
Maybe.
And so you're actually director of the actual series, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us more about the Cars Tour so people can understand kind of where it fits in the NASCAR hierarchy there.
Yeah, for sure. So we're not exactly the developmental program for NASCAR, but we are a direct feeder series into the upper levels of NASCAR. So we're a regionally touring late model series. So we've got pro late models and late model stocks. And essentially what this is to kind of shape these drivers from a young age so that they are prepared not only with their on-track activity, but also just, their interview process and the way they present themselves and how to present yourself in front of your partners and the importance of bringing your partners on board and how you treat them. Essentially, we're an all-around growth and developmental program.
Okay. And you got big doings at the Speedway this weekend, of course, with Dale coming in. Now, is he like one of the owners of the series?
He is, yes. So we have 4 owners in this series. We have Dale Earnhart Jr., Justin Marks, Kevin Harvick, and Jeff Burton.
Okay.
So that's our overhead.
Who was that last one you said? Was that Jeff Burton?
Jeff Burton.
Okay. Now his son is racing in NASCAR now, isn't he?
Yes. So it's cool too because the ownership group that we have, they are obviously they've all made it to the upper levels of NASCAR, but also, it's kind of like when they invested in the car store, it was like coming back home, like investing in their roots, like
Right.
why they fell in love with the sport to begin with. So I think that's something that we have. It's not just, oh, that's so cool, that we have this overhead, but what they bring to the table is so much more special than that, and I feel like that's part of the magic that we have.
Gotcha. And I think a lot of people that may have gotten out of NASCAR, the older folks like myself, I'm sorry, I'm an old guy. Some of the folks that have gotten out over the years see some of these names and you recognize them. Obviously, Chase Elliott, Burton, also Nemechek, you see, I think his son's racing or nephew or whoever it is. But you see a lot of the same bloodlines coming through there.
You do, but it's even too, like Josh Perry. He was a champion of ours. We had him for a long time. He was a celebrity around the short track world, and now he's in a Cup car. He replaced Kevin Harvick when he retired. You know what I mean? So it's stories like that that's really cool. I mean, we just had Carson Quapple, our last year's champion. He made an Xfinity start at Martinsville just a few weeks ago, or maybe even last weekend. So it's really cool to kind of watch that progress and really watch our underdogs make it to the big leagues.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. Got a big weekend ahead here in Onslow County. We promoted the race. A lot of people are going to be coming out, so be prepared to have a lot of parking lots set up, from what I understand.
Good, yeah. We brought in extra food trucks, extra grandstands too, that was something that was really cool. When the track realized they had to bring in extra grandstands, I think that's a level of excitement for everybody, right? Like, we're not just in this to grow the car store itself, but what we're able to do is go into these markets and these short tracks and these smaller towns and almost bring a level of tourism money into the cities. You know what I mean? Like really, really building up those areas and hitting these different markets. And it's really cool that we do get to do that. But then you add that layer of Dale Earnhart Jr. is racing with us, so it's going to be packed. Hopefully, we want to give the fans something to cheer for, but hopefully they're happy with the product that we've built.
Well, hopefully the first song you can play on the PA this weekend is, what is the old song? I Can See Clearly Now, The Rain Is Gone. So I think it's cleared out. Might be a little chance, but other than that, I think you should be able to get some good racing in.
Yes, and tickets are still on sale on site. too. So even when they do cut off the pre-sales, you can still show up and buy that grandstand ticket. And it's so important to show up and support these local short tracks because that's where the stars are born.
And people that were worried about the weather, if you're not from coastal North Carolina, you don't know this, but there's an old expression around here: if you don't like the weather, wait about 30 minutes and it'll change. Exactly. So if the weather's been bad, it's going to clear up and have a good weekend for you guys.
And the weather's looking great, but you know what? Even if there is a little bit of drizzle, just crack another beer. You won't think about it. Have fun.
I wish you could be with us today because I brought my Dale Earnhart Jr. Cooler. This is vintage. This is from Talladega in I'd say the mid 2000s. When you'll see him in a little bit. I understand you're picking him up and all that stuff. You see him in a little bit. Ask him if he remembers the 38 Special tour bus, the Talladega infield in the mid 2000s. 38 Special played a concert there, I think, for the Saturday race. And yeah, we kind of hung with some of his crew members, and he was there and stuff. It was a great time. He was just a very approachable dude back then. We had pit passes, and we're able to see a lot of the drivers. Richard Petty, I don't know if you've ever met him before in your walks through the sport, but he is just one of the most approachable people ever in sports. And he was always one of those that said where he was because of the fans, and that's why he was so approachable with everything.
Exactly. That's something that's really cool about all four of our owners, especially Dale and even Harvick too. Like it's so cool how invested they are. But like I said, even when they come to race with us at the local short track level, they don't want to be treated any differently. Like they'll stand in line at the pit gate with the rest of the teams. Like they just love to be back in that atmosphere, which makes it so cool. And they all are so approachable. You know, if you come out and like we're having an autograph session for this weekend, it's available to all ticket holders that are inside that racetrack, whether you're in the pits or you're in the grandstands, anywhere, trackside, all of it. Yeah. You can walk up there, get something signed, meet them, and say, hey. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's so cool about the short track racing. So we're super, super pumped to bring that to Jacksonville this weekend. Yeah,
and even like back in the day with Tony Stewart, who wasn't the most bubbly personality, you know, but Tony Stewart, he was a little grumpy. But Tony, I think they actually had to work it in his Home Depot contract that he couldn't go race every weekend on a short track somewhere because he was every time he had a chance, he'd get off and go run, you know, midget somewhere, you know.
Yeah, hey, seat time is great, you know, obviously when you're going up those ranks. But yeah, sometimes those Cup guys, the team owners like to keep their drivers a little focused.
They just want to race.
We have
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for calling in. We're gonna let you folks get back to work here shortly. So thank you, and we'll see you at the racetrack this weekend.
Absolutely, sounds great. We'll see y'all there.
Take care.
Thanks for having me.
All right, bye. Anything you guys want to add real quick before we go to our first break? I know you guys got to get back to work, so we're going to let you get out of here. But anything you want to add real quick?
Think it's going to be an exciting weekend. You really don't want to miss this. And you were just mentioning Tony Stewart. First Cup race I went to was in Miami in 1999. Tony was doing an autograph session. It had been 3 hours, and the people went and said, "All right, everyone who's in line, where he's not." Tony came up and said, "I'm signing every single autograph," and he was there for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, Tony just didn't like the media.
No, that's true, and that's
or the NASCAR.
I think that's why he came across as being the grumpy old man, but he was more of a fan guy. You're right, Katie. Anything you want to add before we go?
I think I'm all good.
You gonna whoop them this weekend?
I'm gonna try. Hoping
all
for
right.
a top
I hope
10.
to see your name. I see your name number 1. That's what I'm wishing for. That race, you just got everything clicking perfect. See if you can't slip a Hemi in that thing or something. You know I'm sorry, it's a Chevrolet. I shouldn't have said that, but work on that. See if you can, within the rules, get up to number 1.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right. We're looking forward to following you then.
Thank you.
You guys enjoy the race this weekend. Right. We'll be right back on Sports Talk.
WSME.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable temperatures and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home, your family, and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because when the temperature falls, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, serving our community for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-4311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
You might call our selection impressive, our people admirable, our savings remarkable, but the word we use is bodacious. Shop National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram during the Jeep Celebration event for a massive inventory of new Jeeps and Ram trucks, plus the performance of Dodge.
Visit National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Highway 17 in Jacksonville.
It's a national thing. Go National!
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds. Diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Since the 1930s, people have trusted the local law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick for personal injury, family law representation, and traffic offenses. That's over 90 years serving the legal needs of people throughout Onslow County, which makes the law offices of John Drew Warlick your hometown law firm. So when you need the services of an attorney, and at some point most people will, the law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick is here for you. For an appointment, phone 910-455-7700 or visit their location, 313 New Bridge Street, right here in downtown Jacksonville.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available, and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's Sports Talk live on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. We're talking a little New River All American Speedway first segment, and the rest of the segments are going to be all Rookie Davis, the former New York Yankee, Cincinnati Reds. I always get it wrong, and don't tell me. No, you have to tell me.
Pittsburgh Pirates. For some reason, San Francisco popped in my head. You never went to the Bay, though. Never went to the Bay.
So you were always kind of east of the Mississippi. Then.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not too far away. Now, Rookie's here with us. We're going to talk about we've had him on the show before, so we're going to talk more about this time about what he's doing now, like getting into the business, training other athletes, things like that. But we do want to touch a little bit on your career. Obviously, you were a superstar standout at Dixon High School. You ever miss those days of that run y'all had, man, in the state championship series, 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah, we made it in 2010. 2011, we got knocked out in the second round. But
I thought there was another year where you went to Eastern Finals or something.
That was the year after I graduated.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it was 2012 they went. Okay. But honestly, man, Jack Brown, he's being inducted into the Onslow County Hall of Fame. And that, throughout that entirety of my high school career, that's the thing that I miss the most is playing for him. Playing for someone that held guys accountable, playing for someone. I said this in an interview whenever they asked me about his Hall of Fame induction. Outside of, my parents, my dad specifically with baseball, Jack was the first person outside of him that made me love the work, good or bad. But, it's easy to play the game as it comes easy to you. Yeah. But, that run, he's got over 350 career wins, I think. I didn't know that until I read it in the paper. But
wow. Was all that at Dixon? Or the other school also?
No. But, it's like I said, if you look back, I know White Oak, in the late 70s had some pretty good teams.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too also.
But if you look at the numbers that he put up when he was at Dixon throughout that run, it'd be hard pressed to find somebody that with a more impressive resume than that.
Oh, so especially here in Onslow County.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy. Whenever I think back, I obviously think about the teammates that I had, the relationships I had with them. But just playing for him and having the opportunity to learn from him is what I'll remember the most.
And you make a great co-host. You're the guest today. We make a great co-host because you just gave me a great segue to the Hall of Fame thing.
Do what I can.
We're going to be there covering it Tuesday nights. I'll see you out there. You're going to go support Jack and
I'll be there.
His induction and everything. We also want you to join the Freedom Crew as we broadcast live from the Coastal Bank and Trust Jacksonville Alonzo Sports Commission Hall of Fame. That's a mouthful right there. The Coastal Bank and Trust Jacksonville Alonzo Sports Commission Hall of Fame, powered by the law offices of John Drew Warlick at Sturgeon City. That's 50 Court Street. If you don't know where it's at, just go to Court Street, go to the courthouse, hang a right, and you see it on the left. You can't miss it. Huge building there. 50 Court Street, and it'll be Tuesday, April 16th from 4 to 6. That's when we'll be on the air doing a live remote, correct, Hollywood? Got to get Hollywood on the air. Haven't had you on the air yet.
I know, man.
We had 20 people in the studios. Now it's down to just 3 of us, so we have to get you to chat some too.
Hey, don't forget, shameless plug. You can listen to me every day playing the hits, man.
Playing the hits.
The oldies, man.
Yeah.
3 to 7.
They're not oldies.
Monday
They're
through
80s.
Friday.
80s are not oldies.
Well, we play more than 80s.
I know, but that was my era, so I'm not calling that
the best of the 60s, 70s, 80s, beach music, soul, blues, and beyond. You like that?
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just did that right off the top of his head. It's like you said
I say it every day.
8,000 times.
I say it every day. Yeah, 4 to 6. So we'll be hanging out there. Bob Warlick may pop in too. But before he goes
Kevin
there.
Brown, helped us host a state championship game. So Kevin's going to be there helping us run the broadcast.
So maybe we'll be able to grab some of the inductees as they go in. Some of the dignitaries, some of the past Hall of Fame members. This is a lot of fun, and you can listen and check that out. And I think it's just great that these inductees, as you were talking about, Ricky, about what they've done and contributed to athletics here, in Onslow County, and then the growth of athletics, and just what they've done for the community and these young people's lives. So we're just excited to be there.
And here's the full slate: Tony Marshford, Tony, Cuz they call him. Nobody knows about Tony. It's Cuz. State championship basketball team at Northside. Great run, with a bunch of teams. Great basketball coach over the years, and coached other sports also. He's in the class of 2024. I assume he's by himself, unless maybe there's one at the top here. Oh, and Jack Brown. Jack's in that class also. Obviously, we talked about your coach, Jack Brown. Now, you're going to be there. Say they were to say, Rookie, come on up and say a couple words about Jack. If they do, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take about 30 minutes to get to the stage.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I can do that.
You remember him coming out to the pitcher's mound?
Yeah, man. He always
sit there and you're going, will he ever get here?
And it was never a good mound visit. He never came he never came out there to tell you what a great job you're doing. So you just had to wait and wait. And then once he got out there, it was fairly quick. He let you know
that part, but it took him forever to get there. And he did that on purpose. It was for effect. If he was bringing in another pitcher, not in your case, did you ever get replaced on the mound?
One time, man. My sophomore year against Topsail, it was at home. They roughed me up pretty good. Yeah, but other than that, to my recollection, you'd have to ask my dad or Jack this, but I don't think I ever came out of a game.
But for other pitchers getting replaced, if he knew he was going out there to yank the pitcher, that was for effect. He's giving his other pitcher a few minutes to warm up, a little longer.
Yeah.
And plus, the other fans it drove them nuts.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there in the press box. I'm a Southwest guy, sitting there up there in the press box going, is he going to get there?
He did it every time. He just, it's who he was. It drove me nuts whenever I was younger. But as I got older, honestly, I learned to appreciate it a little bit more because he was giving me some time to catch my breath, get a breather. Or sometimes he just wanted you to dread it. He wanted you to dread him getting out there.
It's called marinating. He was letting you marinate, yeah. And also the class of 2023 is going to be Amanda Duffy, soccer great from Onslow County. Stephanie Rose, another great soccer. We had some great female soccer players in Onslow County, and those are two of the best there. And, of course, the White Oak baseball teams is 2 years, actually. It's not the 78. Well, baseball's all in 1 year anyway. So, like basketball, sometimes it's confusing because it goes both. But the baseball team from 78 and 79, they had Louis Meadows on the team. I know he made it up through the Astros organization. Chucky Kennedy, a bunch of other players that I probably just can't come to mind right now. But this team, I don't know if you're aware of it. I don't know if you saw the article in the paper, won 59 games in a row. Still a state record.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So I talked to, when Chris Miller interviewed me for Jack, he sent me a picture of I think it was the all-county team at that time. And obviously my dad was on there, but, I mentioned to him, like, how many players from White Oak were on that team? And he said, they were good.
So your dad was playing at Dixon then?
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine, let's see, if they did all county and say they had 10 or 11 back then, just the starters, I would imagine probably 4 or 5 of them were from that team.
Yeah.
Just because they were that stacked.
My recollection, I want to say 4 were from White Oak, maybe 5. And then I think 3 were from Dixon.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
and Dixon had some great teams back then.
Yeah.
Did your dad play with – no, Henry Rochelle was after that.
I don't know.
But you've heard of Henry, of course. He's a legendary Dixon player for what he did afterwards.
Yeah.
The 5 home runs, playing for Campbell. He hit 5 home runs in one game, and I think he hit like 10 for his entire career.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy day. You've seen that before.
Yeah.
Something that, out of the blue, just all of a sudden, a guy gets hot.
It makes you wonder, man, what the opposing coach was was possibly thinking. I've seen a guy hit 3 in a game, but I can promise you he wouldn't hit a 4th.
Thank you. And I've said that 1,000 times on here. I know people get tired of me saying it, but there's no way I would have just drilled him on about or intentionally walk you maybe.
Something, but yeah, it brings the question, like what are we doing?
Well, it's one of those back in that it still happens now. Like UNCW, Campbell, the Coastal Carolina, of course, had a national championship run. Schools like that, you get the other team spring breaks. They go on spring break and come down here to play because they can't play up in Pennsylvania or Michigan or stuff. Still snow on the ground. So early in the season, I think the team he was playing against was Radford. So they'd come down. They did the spring break tour. They were at UNCW and then Campbell and all that. And it was one of those games that was out of hand. It wasn't like it was a close game.
Right.
So it was like probably 20-2 or 18-2. So I guess they just didn't really consider it. Now in a close game, they probably would have walked him. Like say that they had produced a lot of runs also. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I see the post every year. I think it's on the anniversary.
Yeah. His wife usually posts.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. That's probably the reason why I'm not a coach, and I'll probably never be a coach.
You don't have any aspirations to coach?
No.
We're going to get to that later, but you're obviously tell us about your business you do, and then we'll talk more about coaching later.
Yeah, so I own the Davis Academy. It's an indoor baseball and softball training facility. We work with players, from 5 and up. My clients now are typically the middle school, high school, collegiate age. And so, get kids in there. Our staff does a great job developing the players. My dad, he's still in there. I get him in there 3 days a week, so he's still doing it.
Well, he developed a pretty good player over the years.
Yeah. Speaking of that, man, my dad, I'll say this until it happens. My dad should be in the Onslow County Hall of Fame because of the playing career that he had. But more importantly, you want to talk about the impact on the game around here. Everyone that knows him respects him for what he's done after he's played, working with kids, coaching kids,
training other players.
So if that doesn't meet the criteria for that, I'm not quite sure what does.
Hey, we'll get him nominated. I mean, I'll find out from the sports commission what the nominating criteria is.
Yeah.
At one time, I was a voting member. I don't know what happened. Scott Smith, Marisa, if you're out there listening, I used to get an email every year where I could vote. Why did I get kicked to the curb? We promote you guys all the time.
You got blackballed.
I got blackballed. But anyway, maybe I can get back on it again. Maybe this is my plea on international communication here because we're on YouTube. So maybe we get back on it, and then we'll see what we can do about getting him nominated.
Get him in.
And
there.
once the nominations go in, the thing is, once the nominations go in, when I remember voting, there was probably 20 people you could vote for.
Right.
And so they only pared it down to like 3 or 4. And I wonder sometimes if because it's that many numbers wise that some get lost, just like in Major League Baseball.
Right.
Like some of the ones, I don't think Dale Murphy's in the Hall of Fame. And he's before your time, I understand
yeah.
that. But you've heard about the
Yep.
impact he had, especially if you're a Braves fan.
Yeah.
And how is he not in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I mean, just think about it. I talked to Chris Miller about it. You know, if the day comes that I'm nominated, think about if it'd be the first time a father and son would go in at the same time.
Into the Hall of Fame?
Imagine that.
Same time. Oh, same time. I wonder if there are already father and sons in there now. I don't think so. I don't know if Mr. Linwood is in, Coach Padgett's dad. Linwood Padgett, I don't know, because he wasn't as much athletics as he was administration. But I have to go. You ever been to the Sports Commission thing and looked at the pictures and the little Hall of Fame room they have? They don't have a lot of information on the ones and stuff, but they have each one's photos and stuff. And a lot of it's cooler than just looking it up on the website. You know what I mean? But they do have a really good website for people that are interested. You can go to playjosc.com and get to it that way, I'm sure. And they have like a bio on each one that's in it and stuff. So it'd be interesting to look at, especially if you're planning on coming out Tuesday night to kind of get some of the history of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
We're going to take our next break. When we come back, we're going to do our Hurricanes report / Wood Ducks. Hurricanes / get it. If you're not a hockey fan, you don't know what I'm talking about. / Okay. We'll be right back on Sports Talk.
Coming up on the next Goddard's Gold, it's great harmonies, in particular the Mamas and Papas. Some vintage interviews that we did with the gang years ago, plus the Beach Boys, Spanky and our gang, the Cowsills, Beatles, Birds, the Rascals, Shades of Blue, remember their song, You Will, Slide of Family Stone, Four Tops, Harmonies, next Gold. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 11:20 a.m. WSME.
Goddard's Gold.
Located on Gum Branch Road between Jacksonville and Richlands is Rock Creek Golf and Country Club. Player friendly with 5 sets of tees and brand new greens for any skill level, while offering a beautiful and challenging golf course at very affordable rates. Test your putting skill on the brand new greens at Rock Creek. Monday through Thursday, play for only $32. On Fridays, play for $37. And all military and seniors pay $35. On Saturday and Sundays, play for $44. And seniors and military pay $42. And now, Ladies' Day is every Wednesday, and the cost is only $28. All prices include card and green fees. And all eagles, birdies, pars, bogeys, double bogeys, and others are free. Pro Rick Morton invites you to call anytime. 910-324-5151 for a tee time. Memberships available.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Pro Image Promotional Solutions in Jacksonville. A one-stop for your custom tees, sweats, hooded sweats, caps, and outerwear. Pro Image will design uniquely for you. Pro Image will do screen prints, digitize, and embroider right on site at their location in Jacksonville at 51 Plaza Drive B, just behind the Pizza Hut on Gum Branch Road. Pro Image Promotional Solutions, specializing in helping schools, businesses, church groups, civic organizations, and recreation sports teams with uniforms and their team gear. See Mark Houston for ideas on how to make your personal business wear look professional and appealing. For more information, visit proimagenc.com. That's proimagenc.com or call 910-347-0004. Again, that's 910-347-0004. Pro Image Promotional Solutions, just behind the Pizza Hut on Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only carpet protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solitech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home that's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
It's Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. Guest today, Rookie Davis, former big league pitcher with the Yankees, the Reds, and the Pirates. I got it there. I just got to slow it down. When you get old, man, you got to slow your mind down a little bit. Thank you for being with us today, man. Always love talking baseball with you. Yeah. We're going to talk more about the majors and what's going on with that. Now, you're a golfer too? No.
I am.
Do you? You following the Masters so far?
So I golfed a lot until our daughter was born, and then she kind of dictates when I golf.
do want to talk more about that in a minute. Let me. I'll go on a tangent real quick. Let me hit the Hurricanes report because we do have a sponsor that pays good money for the Hurricanes report. Thank you to Down East Heating and Air for doing that. Jason Humphrey, once again, our condolences to your family for the loss of Mr. Tommy. Glad you guys are doing well. Hope everything goes well. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you for sponsoring the Hurricanes Watch / Wood Ducks report because we're transitioning to baseball season. I'm hoping that we're doing the Hurricanes Watch like until about June.
Yeah.
Because that means they're Stanley Cup bound. Now, you said you're not a big hockey fan, right?
I'm not.
Have you been to a Canes game?
I've never been to a Canes game.
Would you go with me one night?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay, you got a really nice truck. If you'll drive,
I'll go.
We'll get the tickets, and I'll get you hooked.
All right.
It's pretty hot, man. It's awesome. Looking at the Canes report, going back to, let's see, what's today? The 11th. No, today's the 12th. We had talked about last week about how they lost 4-1 to Boston at home, which really was terrible. Then they turned around the next night and beat the Washington Capitals 4-2 at home. Also at home, a game I went to, the Columbus Blue Jackets, they beat 3-0. Then they go into Boston. This makes no sense. This is why hockey is kind of a different sport. Home ice, all the ice is the same. It's just the fans cheering.
Right.
Sometimes, and I want to talk to you more about this, about the mindset about sports in a minute, but I think sometimes teams do better on the road because you don't have the trappings that you have at home, like the wife, the kids, and not that there's anything wrong with them, but just you're dealing with your everyday life because they go into Boston after losing 4-1 at home to Boston and beat them 4-1. Andrei Svechnikov has another lacrosse goal, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's where he takes the puck really quick with a stick and like picks it up.
Yeah.
How he does it, I don't know. It's momentum and then flops it in. The same way with you guys with a bat, being able to bounce the ball up and down or play pepper, stuff like that. It's just stuff they do all the time and they get used to it.
Right.
But it's very rare. There's probably only been maybe 8 or 10 lacrosse goals in NHL history. And Andrei Svechnikov for the Hurricanes has 3 of them. We got to see the first one ever in NHL history live.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it on video on the board, like the replay, so to show we were actually there.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool that he just takes it and flips it up and flips it in. So the Canes, since we last talked, actually are undefeated. They'd already lost to the Bruins, but they've been 3-0 since we last had our report. And they'll be playing tonight in St. Louis, 8 o'clock puck drop. I'm not sure what network it'll be on, but it'll be there somewhere to watch. So support your Canes. They got 3 more away games left and then Stanley Cup playoffs. Right now it looks like that might be the number 2 seed out of the Metro, and that'll put them pretty high up in the playoff bracket. So good luck, Canes. Keep doing it, and thank you, Down East Heating and Air, for sponsoring the Hurricanes report. Have you followed the Wood Ducks any this year?
I haven't, honestly. Not as much as I should. Believe it or not, once it's weird. Once spring training starts, that's whenever high school, middle school travel, everything starts to get up into full swing around here. So I can't tell you the last time I sat and I watched a game or like
even
I told
on
you,
TV,
Dave,
you don't get to watch much Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you know what I get to watch? I get to watch Miss Rachel, which is a kids developmental show that my daughter. If you turn it off, she just it does not go.
Well, every kid had their thing, man. My kid, early on, it was The Lion King, and I could recite The Lion King word for word because you saw it so much. So all of them had their little niche they like to watch. At least you're past the Barney stage, because Barney was years ago.
Well, we need to get if Miss Rachel would show some highlights. Or show some, give some sports updates. I'd know what's going on.
So like have the scroll at the bottom, like ESPN has,
like the ticker. But
well, you got that thing in your pocket now. That thing, the phone, And we were talking earlier. I meant to mention that. Got this cooler from some of Earnhart Jr.'s crew and everything at Talladega that year. Had a great time. We're all there together, on the tour bus and stuff. You know what was missing from that though? Is pictures, because back then, you didn't have this thing in your pocket that you can instantly. Now you can take a picture of everything. Yeah. Back then, unless you had your 35 millimeter, happen to have it on you, you just did without.
Right.
And that would have been some great memories to take pictures on a major recording artist tour bus with the band and the some of the crews and the ones we did. And when we were in the pit area early, we had a camera, and I got a good picture of me with Richard Petty, which was really one of my favorite pictures. But that's the way times have changed. Kids don't understand that we didn't have this stuff. That like you'll tell them stuff you did, and they're like, "Well, you didn't take a picture."
Yeah.
What'd you take a picture with back then?
Well, but that's probably the reason why you got on the bus. Now they have to worry about phones. They have to worry about so much other stuff going on that
possibly
the guard's constantly up.
That's true. That, and we were talking about we're all over the place here. But we were talking about the Masters. Did you know you can't take phones there?
Yeah,
I've heard that policy. I don't even think the players can have phones.
No,
that's crazy, isn't it?
Can't. Somebody I can't remember what player it was got in trouble for during a rain delay having his phone.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't mind it.
Well, looking at the Wood Duck schedule, I want to hit them real quick. Right now they're at the Carolina Mudcats. You talk about an iconic minor league team name, the Carolina Mudcats. You ever been to Zebulon and seen the game?
Yeah,
you probably played there, didn't you?
I played there.
What is it? 5 County Stadium. It used to be.
Yeah,
I don't know if they've got
played
a new
there.
one.
That's where the state championship was in 2010.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I heard they're getting a new stadium. I don't think they have already, but man, that just places. It's like Granger Stadium. It's just so much history there. So they'll be there until they're playing tonight at Carolina Mudcats, Saturday the 13th, Sunday the 14th, and then starting next Tuesday they'll have a big homestand against the Delmarva. I don't remember their Shorebirds, something like that. Yeah, I knew it was some kind of bird, but I couldn't remember. Against Delmarva next week. And you know where the name came from, right? Delmarva, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. It's on that peninsula.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Useless trivia there. When it comes to useless trivia, I'm full of it, man. All right, so that's the Wood Ducks Report and Hurricanes Watch all together. Thanks once again to Down East Heating and Air. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Okay, we'll take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more with Ricky Davis, former big league pitcher. And we'll be right back on Sports Talk.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Bayshore Animal Hospital is excited to announce that they have moved to their new forever location, 623 East Saviston Drive in Swansboro. Bayshore Animal Hospital may be Onslow County's most complete veterinary clinic, offering small animal and equine medicine at a new state-of-the-art facility. Dr. Timothy Pearson is an equine practitioner. In addition to equine medical and dental services, Bayshore Animal Hospital continues to give compassionate care for all your furry, four-legged family members. You see, at Bayshore Animal Hospital, they treat pets like family. Sea dogs, devil dogs, cool cats, and horses. Welcome. Dr. Gina Francis, Timothy Pearson, and staff are ready to provide your pet with the best possible care today. Stop by Bayshore Animal Hospital now at their new location, 623 East Saviston Drive, Swansboro. Phone 910-939-5298. Or if you'd like, you can visit them online to find out more about Bayshore Animal Hospital at BayshoreAnimalHospitalNC.com.
Hello, this is Bill Mercer of Bartley Insurance Services. Are you prepared for the unexpected? Life can throw curveballs when you least expect it. That's why it's important to protect yourself and your loved ones with short-term and long-term care insurance. Short-term care insurance can provide coverage for the unexpected medical events, while long-term care helps cover the cost of extended care, whether in a nursing home or at home. Don't wait until it's too late. Please call our team at Bartley Insurance Services, 910-346-2170 to learn more.
Welcome to Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local Carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967, now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the Carrier experts. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
Spring is here, and it's time to get outside. Making plans for a new garden or lawn makeover? Keep safety in mind for all projects, especially those that require digging near underground utility lines. Jones Onslow EMC reminds all members who plan a digging project to call 811 at least 3 business days before you start. Or you can submit a request online at www.nc811.org. Reliability focused, safety driven. That's our co-op.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Golden Corral, the only one for everyone, featuring their famous buffet. Come see our new self-serve beverage station with multiple flavors and dine in and see our new decor. Enjoy carved steak, carved ribs, and carved ham nightly with fish and catfish Fridays on the dinner buffet. Breakfast buffet every day starts at 7:30 a.m. with brunch at 10 a.m. Dinner with carved meats at 4 p.m. Dine in, take out, drive-through, delivery, and don't forget about catering opportunities for 10 to 1,000. Call 910-455-3773 or goldencorral.com. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone. Golden Corral, North Marine Boulevard, Jacksonville, and Greenville Boulevard, Greenville.
It's Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. Friday, April 12th. We're getting ready to hit this day in sports history. Our guest today is former big league pitcher Rookie Davis, going to help us out, and Hollywood also, so I don't have to read so many words. Too much reading is bad for my brain, so we're going to jump on this. All this stuff happened on April 12th at one time or another. All right, I'm going to kick us off with in 1858, the first U.S. billiards, or as Jed Clampett used to say, billiards, first U.S. billiards championship. Michael J. Phelan wins in Detroit, and ironically, you get a baseball one, so that's good.
1877, the catcher's mask first used in a baseball game.
Wow!
I've seen what happened in 1876.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. What you reckon they were doing?
Big old fat broken nose.
Taking foul balls off the nose.
Yeah. 1896. Wow. I put this together. So
Stamasa Portrisi.
Stamasa Portrisi is the first woman to win a marathon in 5 hours in 30 minutes. Pretty good, right?
That was back in 1896. Yeah. But you know how I know how to pronounce it?
How do you know?
Ashley used to date this girl.
Is that right?
Dang, Ashley.
That's
I
our
want to give
buddy.
another shout out to Ashley. He's got some health stuff he's recovering from. We love Ashley to death, and that's why I do those little digs.
Yeah.
He gets me with my, talking about how much I eat. So
He's our buddy here at the radio
oh,
station.
yeah.
But
But Ashley wasn't even thought of in 1896. So obviously,
he's back in full form. By the way, he'll be back rocking it soon.
Well,
But that was in Athens, by the way, Georgia. No, I'm joking. That's Greece.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it was in Georgia. They weren't there at the University of Georgia. 1909 on this date at Philadelphia's Shibe Park, later called Connie Mack Stadium, baseball's first steel and concrete stadium opened. The Athletics won 8-1 against the Boston Red Sox.
You got 1938 Stanley Cup Final. Chicago Stadium, the Blackhawks beat the Maple Leafs 4-1 for a 3-1 series win. They're the only team to win the Cup with losing regular season record.
I wonder how I don't know how the playoffs worked back then, but I wonder how they even got in with a losing record. Now you wouldn't even. I don't even think you can get in.
Makes it.
Maybe back then, yeah.
No, that's for today's time, not back then.
Yeah, today's time you got to have, unless it's 1A football, then like everybody and his brother gets in the sport.
Yeah.
All right, 1953, 17th U.S. Masters Tournament, Augusta National Golf Course. Ben Hogan shatters the Masters scoring record by 5 strokes with a 274, what is that, the minus 14, to finish 5 strokes ahead of runner-up Ed Oliver, Hogan's second Masters.
Now, we're all on Facebook, right? Us three. Yeah. Have you seen some of the Masters posts popping up of like Chichi Rodriguez, Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, the way they used to dress back then? Dude, they look like they were going to preaching. I mean, it was a stylish thing. Now everybody's got the athletic cut, sponsors all over everything. It was just it was more of an elegant.
It was a different era.
Different thing.
You got to think about, like, you look at the styles back then, like the fedoras, and, like you look at singers, you look at musicians, you look at actors, but they had the fedoras, and everybody, everybody dressed up. Like, you think of church-going clothes. Regular people just walking down the street had the fedoras on, had the suits on. Yeah. It was totally different time, man.
If you want to see a good one, just Google Chichi Rodriguez and Caddy. Yeah. And there's a picture. His caddy looks like Link from the Mod Squad with the shades on. Back then, the fro coming out the hat. They were both just in style, Yeah,
that was
it was a different thing. Yeah. All right, you had that one right, 53.
Yeah.
All right, 1954, the U.S. 18th U.S. Masters Tournament, Augusta National Golf Course. Sam Snead wins his third and final Masters by 1 stroke in an 18-hole playoff with Ben Hogan.
1958, the 12th NBA championship. St. Louis Hawks beat the Boston Celtics 4-2.
Now, you a big basketball fan? So you didn't play, with your height and everything, didn't play basketball in high school?
No, I played until I was, I think, 11 or 12.
They got out of it.
And then I remember it. It was we played rec down at Dixon. Day before, they had the draft back then.
Yeah.
I walked into the living room. My dad's sitting there, and I told him I wasn't going to play. He asked me why, and I said I don't have a future at it. I'm not going to play professionally.
Just want to do baseball, yeah.
And he said okay, and so I never played again.
That was it.
That was it.
It's funny you mentioned the draft back then. Times have changed. Now I think they pick based on favorite color, or I don't know. It's don't get me started. I heard about some of the baseball draft stuff in rec. You probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to touch that because I have some friends that work in the rec thing. It's not their fault. It's not their doing. So anyway, we're not even going to get there.
All right, my turn. 1960, Major League Chicago White Sox owner. This is pretty cool. Bill Veeck.
We'll go with that.
Debuts exploding scoreboard at the Chicago Comiskey Park. I'm not sure what that was.
I'm not either. And is it a recurring thing? Or can you just do it one time?
I think it was maybe fireworks shot over or something.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the whole, like, what do you call it?
The ending, the fireworks thing at the end, or the.
Well, before,
now when you're singing the national anthem, Rockets Red Glare, you see, fireworks.
Yeah, it's kind of the excitement, the kind of. I don't know.
The showmanship.
The showmanship.
Stuff,
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, look up the YouTube video about ill-fated disco promotion. I think it may have been Chicago, but they did a death to disco promotion during the baseball game, and it was a fiasco. You have to see it to believe.
Is that where they burnt the records and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it just became a free for all, basically. So
okay.
You get people liquored up and start blowing up things, and beer bottles will start coming on the field. So you did that one, right? Okay. 1961, General Douglas MacArthur. Okay. Declines the offer to become baseball commissioner. I was wondering how MacArthur figured in. He takes back the Philippines and everything, and now all of a sudden they want to be baseball commissioner.
I don't know how they.
That's interesting.
Maybe they wanted him to be. I have no idea.
They wanted him to be baseball commissioner. Yeah, he declined the offer. Yeah, I guess they saw that. He took back the islands in the Pacific. Maybe he can fix baseball.
That's weird.
He's a leader, damn it. Sorry. All right, Rookie.
1964, 28th Masters Tournament at Augusta National. Arnold Palmer wins by 6 shots from Dave Marr and Jack Nicklaus to become the first 4-time winner of the Masters, his 7th and final major victory.
Okay. Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus, greatest of all time? I know you grew up when Tiger was playing, so you can, that's up to you.
I've got to go with Tiger just because of the consistent dominance that he displayed. Like I saw a stat where Scotty Scheffler's been number 1 for I don't know, but he just won, and I saw an interview where he said a fan yelled out to him, "Great job, Scotty. Now you only have 11 years to beat Tiger," and I mean that's just.
But you know what? I've been around long enough, Chris. Here, he always uses this as a comeback. He says if you go back to 64, the clubs that they use now.
Yeah, but everybody played with the same clubs then. It's not like Nicklaus had nobody had an advantage over him. Like they weren't playing with the clubs today, and he was still playing with Persimmon Woods. He was playing with whatever everybody else was playing with. It's just that makes it hard to compare them. But him and Tiger, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Not to go off on like a tangent, but everybody talks about LeBron and MJ. If MJ played in today's game, he'd average 50. So someone asked,
if not more.
But someone asked, it was an interview. Someone asked, who's the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan or LeBron? If you take what Michael Jordan did and put it in LeBron's career and flipped them, it wouldn't even be a discussion.
Oh yeah.
If he was 6-0 with 6 Finals MVPs,
yeah,
then everyone would say it was LeBron.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And then with Jordan, you had what I call the wasted years. You had not wasted, but he had 3 years in college. LeBron went straight to the NBA. That's 3 years you can't produce stats. The years where he pursued the baseball career, his dad had been killed, and that was a big thing for his dad. He pursued that, and so. It wasn't like he was a full-time the whole time. Can you imagine what they probably would have put together had he just done it the whole time?
8 or 9.
But then again, he may not have been the player he was if he hadn't developed under Dean Smith. Right. So it's hard to say. It's a tough thing, but I still think Jordan's the greatest. With Nicklaus, my thing is more of him being the greatest is the length of time where he was number 1, when Arnold Palmer was playing. He was number 1 later when so-and-so was playing. He went through all the generations instead of just being the one guy the whole time. He took on every generation, won the Masters in 1986 when he was in his 40s or so, his last, thing. But not only because he has 18 majors, I think Tiger has 16? So he's close. I think it's like 18 to 16. But the huge stat, and I wish I had it right in front of me, is how many times he finished second in majors. It was like 40 sometimes. So he was or 30 sometimes. He was right there. Chris Miller, I know you're listening. How many times did Jack Nicklaus finish top 5 in majors where he didn't win? And we'll see if we get that stat. So right here, he was, second place.
So instead of greatest of all time, who's the more transcendent player?
Who
changed the game?
Tiger did. He brought in a different fan base.
Right.
No
Different
doubt.
fan base.
But that doesn't make him the greatest player.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to, everyone, now there's GOAT conversations for literally everything.
We had this conversation earlier with NASCAR. Jeff Gordon brought in a whole new fan base to NASCAR, but I don't think anybody would consider him the greatest. I mean, it's usually between Earnhardt and Petty as the greatest in racing. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. It's just different. And that's why it's so hard to really compare times.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at basketball, a lot of people argue that Bill Russell was probably the greatest because he was more of an all-around player, played on, how many championships did they win?
Right.
12 or so,
Yeah.
So I'm still waiting on that text from Chris. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Who even had that last one?
I did.
You did?
My
Okay.
turn, all right. So 1965, the first regular season Major League Baseball game at the Houston Astrodome. The visiting Philadelphia Phillies beat Astros 2-0.
When you talk about iconic stadiums, the Astrodome,
that is, man.
Was it the first indoor one like that? The big,
I think so.
Huge like that, and they still use it for some stuff. I think Houston's gone to that.
Minute Maid Park.
I call it the Lemonade Park or whatever. But
that Astrodome. It
but
looked
the
like
dome
it was
was the dome, yeah.
Concrete with like turf carpet.
It looked like this floor
Yeah,
right here. Yeah. Now, did you ever do anything in the dome before? Ever been there? I mean, you never been there like to see a game or anything. Now, did you get to go do many games like that and stuff? You know, not your career wise, but like you guys ever travel and see some stuff? Yeah.
Went to Old Yankee Stadium. I was very lucky to go there. Went to Turner Field down in Atlanta. Camden Yards, obviously. I was at Cal Ripken's 21-31 game.
That's a great one too, with the old warehouse in the right corner.
So we got a picture of my dad holding me in front of the warehouse when they flipped the banner for his 21-31.
Really?
And then at the All American game, I met him and took the picture up to him, and he signed it. And I got it.
So you were at that game, even though you were
at that game.
That small. Wow, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I'd love to see that picture sometime.
I'll
shoot you,
find
or
it.
just send me a picture of it on text or something. That's awesome. The last one, just to finish up, is a political thing, so we'll finish up with it. In 1980, the U.S. Olympic Committee endorsed a boycott of the Moscow Olympic Games. We talk about the greatest of all time. I still consider the greatest sports moment of all time to me to be the U.S. Olympic hockey team beating the Russians in 1980.
Yeah.
Well before your time. You don't understand what was going on in this country then. It's a lot like it is now. Things were very bad economic-wise, wars across the sea. We had hostages being held in Iran that were American citizens that nobody could do anything about. The country was just in a bad shape. And then all of a sudden you had these college kids, your age when you were playing minor league baseball, that goes against a Soviet juggernaut that had beaten everybody for years, not even close.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing – you've seen the movie and –
I've seen the movie.
And if you get a chance to watch a documentary on it sometime, like a really in-depth one that tells a lot about – the movie is good and it's pretty accurate, but watch a documentary sometime. It's just amazing what those kids did. It'd be equivalent to you guys with Dixon going up and beating like the NCAA championship team that year or something.
Yeah.
Or even more so going up and playing like a major league team and beating them in a game.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the equivalent was.
I have to research that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We want to talk a little bit about baseball going on too. You said you don't get a chance to keep up with it much. Have you seen how your Yankees are doing this year?
I saw they got off to a hot start.
10-3.
Really?
Most wins in the majors right now. They're tied with the Dodgers for both with 10 wins, but the Yankees are 10-3 and the Dodgers are 10-5, so they have the best record right now in the majors.
Major League Baseball needs a Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
That would be awesome.
They need it. They want it. They promote both teams. Like they just get it over with. Just let them.
Well, they're off to that start right now because both teams have been competitive. Now, what did you think last year about the Major League playoffs? You know what I'm talking about. All the teams that won, the top teams lost in the first round.
Yeah, I think.
You think that was due to the layoff?
No, I think that was good for baseball as well. Like you need to have some small market teams get in, like the Diamondbacks. The Tampa Bay Rays are always right there. Like you can't, in my opinion, like how the NBA is. You've got the super teams, and now it's a little bit different now. It's kind of shaded more towards like across a level playing field, but. Baseball, man, anybody can beat anybody. And so that's the beautiful part of the game is you had the highest payroll in baseball going against the bottom third payroll in baseball with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. And it just comes down to everyone wants the long ball. They want the offense. They want high-scoring games. But go look at the postseason, the playoffs, pitching, defense, base running wins games.
Yeah.
Now, offense may get you there, but when it's matchups and when everything is so concentrated, go look and see. The ones that have won the World Series probably have the lowest team ERA.
And I'm a Braves fan. Were you ever a Braves fan growing up just because of the area?
No, I followed players, not teams.
Well, back and you might have been on the tail end of it. We used to have what's called the Superstation, Turner Network or TBS, and all the Braves games were on TV.
Yeah.
So a lot of people became Braves fans, whether you lived in this area or not,
Yeah.
just because they were on every night. It was wonderful because you could, when I first was growing up, you had Monday Night Baseball. You had It was bad. I wouldn't have wanted to be with them long leaf pines doing like they were.
Yeah, man.
There was a lot of bad conditions he played in, and he finished, I think, one under, and it was within the top 18 the last I saw. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, so he's in contention.
It's just good for golf when Tiger's playing.
Well, the mad scientist or whatever they call him, Shambo, the guy that's a little quirky, has different things he does and can hit it a mile. He was leading yesterday at 7 under. So that's a good start to have somebody other than, there's just some of them that have no character to them. You know what I mean? Not character like good character, bad character, but they're not characters of the game. They're not like a Chichi Rodriguez or a Lee Trevino.
Right.
Chichi would make a putt and do it like he was, sword fighting.
You've got to get people excited about something.
Yeah.
You've got to get them engaged. Like if I can tell you right now, Sunday, if I can, if Tiger's in contention, I will watch.
I'll probably watch even if he's not. I remember one Sunday about 10 years ago, man, it was like darts. Every player was throwing it and hit and drawing it back and leaving it within, a bucket size,
Well, I say if,
the Masters could be a special place on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, for me to turn, the program off for my daughters watching it, there's got to be something big going on.
Don't you have an iPad or something, man? All right, look, I'm sitting there with my wife at night, and I like to watch TV with her, and she doesn't watch all sports. So sometimes I'll bite the bullet and watch whatever she's watching, but the iPad's flipped up where I can catch up with the sports. Are we going to take one more break real quick? All right, we'll take another break. We'll be right back with Sports Talk.
Three-quarter harmony with cool. I said with cool Bobby B.
Hey, it's Cool Bobby B. Jacksonville, Onslow County, and beyond. You have found the official station for the Doo-Wop Stop. Heard Saturday nights, 7 till 10, right here on Freedom 97.1 WSME and worldwide at WSME971.com. Join me as we play the absolute best and greatest doo-wop songs of all time. Saturday night, 7 till 10. Get connected now at doowopstop.com.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
I'm a waitress, so I know the difference between regular shoes and Skechers slip-resistant work shoes. Skechers slip-resistant work shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta primavera.
Thanks.
While regular shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta whoa! And that difference is why I wear Skechers slip-resistant work shoes to keep me safe on my feet. Plus, they're easy to clean and have Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam for comfort throughout my shift. Get America's #1 selling work shoe at Skechers.com.
At AutoZone, we've always been here to help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. Needing some battery help? We've got you. Whether it's a free battery test or a free charge, we can help you get started again. And if it's time for a replacement, we've got a full selection of batteries starting at $79.99. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Based on data from the MPD Group Incorporated, Car Care Track, 12 months ending December 2019.
Every home has have-to-dos and probably some want-to-dos. The Home Depot can help you do both with the things you need to make things work a little better or take care of something you've been meaning to do. Maybe do something to start summer. We have the low prices to make it all doable. Order online and get free delivery on orders over $45. Whatever you need to do or want to do, we can help you get it done. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Some delivery exclusions apply.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
Top of the 7th looks like a pitching change as they've set up for a corner kick. The two black belts have entered the mat, and the slider is low and away. He heads the ball to midfield. This is quite a kumite. Here comes the roundhouse. Has it got enough gas to get out of here? Unbelievable. They've bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Kick savings pitch karate.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, my name is Alani. A little thing I like about the Spicy Deluxe sandwich is that you taste the crunch, you taste the pepper jack cheese melting, and you taste the spicy flavors in the sandwich. I'm telling you, 10 out of 10.
Hi, my name's Enrique. A little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's Spicy Deluxe sandwich is you get that rich flavor of the chicken and definitely that nice, tangy, warm bite. It's the perfect harmony of spiciness and taste.
Order the Spicy Deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You might call our selection impressive, our people admirable, our savings remarkable, but the word we use is bodacious. Shop National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram during the Jeep Celebration event for a massive inventory of new Jeeps and Ram trucks, plus the performance of Dodge.
Visit National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Highway 17 in Jacksonville.
It's a national thing. Go National!
It's Sports Talk live on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Raynor. Guest today, former big league pitcher, Rookie Davis. Rookie, we always call you Rookie. What's your God-given name?
Oh.
Or is it Rookie?
It's William.
William, like your dad?
Yeah,
Okay.
William Theron Davis III.
So you're a legacy, a third.
I am.
Okay. And Rookie's just a nickname, though. It's not actually, we want to call our kid Rookie from the get-go.
Yeah.
Why didn't he do that? Just call you Rookie.
Wanted a memorable name. So
That's
I
true.
guess he didn't. I hope he's listening. I guess he didn't think about how it affect me as a 30-year-old.
The third
man. But it's.
Is he coming to the Hall of Fame thing?
He'll be there.
Tuesday? Okay, good. I'd like to meet your dad. I've never met your dad before.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, make sure you join the Freedom Crew as we broadcast live from the Coastal Bank and Trust Jacksonville Onslow Sports Commission Hall of Fame, powered by the law office of John Drew Warlick. So if we get in trouble there, John Drew can and Bob can represent us in court, like if we get in a fight or something like that. Since they're our sponsors there, thank you for the law office of John Drew Warlick for doing that. It'll be at Sturgeon City at 50 Court Street, Jacksonville. It'll be coming Tuesday night, April 16th from 4 to 6. You can join Chris Raynor, Chris Hollywood Mann, and Bob Warlick, and Kevin Brown and Brian Bailey will be with us there too, hanging out. We'll all take turns shagging guests and getting them and getting their information and talking to them and everything. And we'll chat and talk about the 2023-2024 inductees. You have for the class of 2023 the White Oak baseball team, undefeated, 59-0, between 78 and 79. That's still amazing. Louis Meadows in the crowd. Stephanie Rose and Amanda Duffy also in that group, two of the greatest soccer players in Onslow County history. The class of 2024, we have Tony Marshburn, great baseball coach or basketball coach here in Onslow County, won a state championship with Northside, and of course the irreplaceable Jack Brown. And we talked about characters of the game, and he was a character as a baseball manager. Now, do you know, did he play or anything earlier in life? I mean, do you know anything about his history before coaching?
I don't want to misspeak on his playing career, but I know that he was assistant coach at Western Carolina when Jack Leggett then went to Clemson.
Okay.
And so his playing career, he could shed some light on it, but
he just strikes me. I was telling you on the break, we had Denny McClain calling one time, and he strikes me as one of those old-timey baseball guys, like maybe he pitched for Paul Tuckett of the International League or something like that. Just a character of the game.
Yeah.
Now you were telling you started an interesting story on the break, and I stopped you because I want to tell it on the air. And tell us about probably one of the little known things about Jack is he was banned from media relations for a little while.
He was. I can't remember what year it was. I was in school. It was either my sophomore or junior year, but we played a team in the playoffs. They were up from Raleigh. They were a charter school, and so their school was a lottery style.
Okay.
And so, weirdly enough, their head baseball coach was in charge of the lottery selection, and another coincidence is that all of their players were very good baseball players chosen from that lottery. And so Jack found out, and we mobbed him. But Jack then took that opportunity to criticize the High School Athletic Association about it and called them out. And then the superintendent called yesterday or the day after and told him that he was banned from speaking to the media for a year, and he said thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they could actually do that, but I guess they
didn't mind it.
Yeah, probably didn't want to talk to him anyway.
No.
Very truculent with the media.
Yes.
Look that word up. It was actually from a sports movie, so that's where I learned it. Now, you ever watch any of the baseball movies, Major League, Bull Durham?
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about characters of the game and ones that stick out. Remember the famous quote that Crash Davis told Luke LaLoosh? He said, if you're colorful, you'll get noticed. He says, but if you're, have fungus on your shower shoes and you aren't any good, then you're a slob. When you win 20 in the majors, you're colorful. But he said it the other way. You win 20 in the majors, you're colorful because you have fungus on your shower shoes. But right now, it just means you're a slob. So it's all about, how that plays out. Yeah, man. And we talked about some of the great names like I say John Daly in golf,
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest golfer ever, but everybody loves him,
Everybody does. Still
he's
loves
a hoot, yeah. Talk to us about your family because you got some changes in your family since I last talked.
Got some changes. Yep. So married my beautiful wife Allison. She was a very good athlete at Dixon, much better athlete than I am. But I outpunted my coverage, man.
I was going to say that you got kicked. I did too.
Yeah, I'm
Hollywood did too.
I'm way over my skis. But we have a daughter. Her name is Kennedy. She's almost 10 months old. But man, you get the news you're going to be a father. It's there's so much to think about. You have so many worries. You're excited. You wonder how you're going to do, but
you just do.
It doesn't matter how my day is. Whenever I get home from work, she's standing there and she's excited to see me every single time. And so, Allison, she's a tremendous mother. She keeps our family. I went through some personal stuff a couple of years ago, and she held us together. And I just, I never get the opportunity to say how much of a wonderful person she is, but I mean, she's saved me a lot more than I've saved her. That's for sure.
That's awesome. So, and that baby will change you too.
Yeah, I'm a lot softer.
Already got wrapped around. Got daddy wrapped around her little finger.
Anything she wants.
10 months old.
Yeah.
Is she standing yet?
She's standing.
Is she running yet?
Oh God.
Because a lot of times they won't. You told me how tall she is for her age and everything. A lot of times they just start running. They don't start walking.
Yeah. So she'll take some steps on her own. She's a tough kid. She has a little playpen there at the house. She'll walk around on her own and fall. She'll, hit her head. Like we immediately will go to grab her and she's just sitting there.
Yeah.
So
it's so funny because it's changed with kids over the years. Even, you guys' age, you were playing on playgrounds that look like death traps. We were too. Nowadays, you go to a playground, everything's padded and bubble wrap.
Dude, we've got the piece together puzzle floor, so if she falls, she's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we played on that thing that looked like Plinko from Price is Right. If you fell, you just ding 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 ding. Anyway, that's changing the times. Probably it's more safer for them.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about your folks and your wife and child and everything. You touched on your sister earlier. Was she probably a better athlete than Rookie was?
Yes.
I understand that she could do it all.
Yeah.
What sports was she great? I know softball, obviously.
Softball, basketball. She never played volleyball, never had interest in doing it. But basketball, softball, she had to work at what she did. She was naturally gifted, but she also had an insane work ethic to things that didn't come easy to her.
Yeah.
And so she's most athletic. I would have to rank my sister 1, my wife 2, me 3, and then my brother-in-law 4.
Gotcha. I know your brother-in-law,
but
I hope he's okay with that. Now, you talked about the different sports she played. You obviously got to a point you talked about not wanting to play basketball that one year and wanting to concentrate on baseball. Did you ever get the itch for football? Because, I mean, you're a big dude.
Oh, no.
You're a big dude. You got an arm on you. I mean, Dixon would have loved to have
where
you
I
at
went to
quarterback.
high school? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
don't
that's
have
the
any
point
interest,
is
man, in
you get
getting
those guys. They're starting to get something going down there. I don't know if you noticed, but
now they are. But I graduated in 2011, and
nobody wanted to play then.
I just didn't have any sort of urge to go get sacked 15 times. Like I mean,
well, you'd have been like Kendrick. You just outrun them all when they come for you.
Well,
you just
Kendrick's a lot faster than I, I thought about it. Whenever I was in high school, I thought about it, and then whenever I'd be bigger than the O line was, Like more so from an injury standpoint, right? Because
you'd have made a heck of a tight end or an O-line.
Yeah, well, when I was playing in high school, I probably wasn't the most liked person per se. I may have rubbed people the wrong way. So if they had the opportunity to take a shot at me on the football field, they probably would have taken it.
Especially opposing baseball players, playing football.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk more about your business too before we go. But let's plug that, and then we're going to have to wind it up here. And then, of course, we'll might get a shot of you on the red carpet at the at Sturgeon City.
I hope there's no red carpet, but yeah.
Tell us about your business, how that people can get in it, some contact information.
Yeah, so website's thedavisacademy.com. You can give us a call, 910-515-7271. It's for anybody, high school, middle school, younger kids, to come in, work on their craft, work hard, and develop. It is, we pride ourselves. I pride myself on being unbiased. Any kid that works, on their craft, that walks in that door will get the absolute best out of me that they can get. So awesome. That goes for, and also I've had some people mention this as well. Any coach at whatever level, high school, our doors are always open. If you want to come in, talk to us about some kids. If you want to come in and observe, I'm always trying to learn. My dad's always trying to learn. And so I think that should extend to high school coaches in this area as well, middle school coaches in this area, because the state, in my opinion, the state of baseball right now in this area needs to be better. And so everybody needs to get on the same page to develop kids to the best of their ability. That way, iron sharpens iron. And when you have good teams and you have programs that are ran the right way, that kids are developed the right way, that's when you're going to see baseball and softball in this area take off. Yeah. But until then, it's not going to happen.
And I know you work with some of the Swansboro kids, you said, and they're doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I work with.
Hopefully, we can have a couple teams make a decent run in the playoffs this year.
Swansboro and Croatan, those are the programs I work with the kids the most. And they've got a shot, both teams, to make a deep run. They have 3 really good arms. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
Well, good deal. Keep it up, man, and hopefully get you a little business coming too.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
You got it going on over there. Anything you want to add before we go?
No.
Another shout out to Jack Brown. That's good.
I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Jack Brown. Congratulations on a phenomenal career. It's long overdue. And I'd also like to give a shout out to the Onslow County Sports Commission, the Hall of Fame. It's time to get Billy Davis in.
Well, hey, we can talk about it all Tuesday night while we're there.
There we go.
We'll bring it up. All right. Once again, Sports Talk is powered by the law offices of John Drew Warlick, Rock Creek Golf and Country Club, Golden Corral, Jones Onslow EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Barnes Diamond Gallery, National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Bayshore Animal Hospital. Don't forget their new location is now open at 633 East Sabiston Drive in Swansboro. Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Lane Associates Family Dentistry, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, and Southern Touch Painting. Thanks to Helen's Kitchen. We're getting ready to dive into those delicious Billy Bowls over there. They're grits, eggs, cheese, and sausage. You can't beat it, man.
Can't beat it.
Good old Southern breakfast. Once again, the Hurricanes Watch is sponsored by Downey's Heating and Air. Also / Wood Ducks Report. We did a little bit of both this week. Hopefully the Hurricanes Watch is going deep into the year because that means they're still playing. And the playoffs will be starting probably. They'll have a couple more games for next week's watch, and then we'll start the playoffs. So we'll keep you up to date on how the Canes are doing in the playoffs. You can also find on-demand Sports Talk podcasts at WSME971.com, live on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, world out there. Probably somebody in Dubai watching us right now. Who knows? Or in the Ukraine, in Russia watching right now. Who knows? It's happening. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube at WSME Radio. And you can follow us and watch live at freedom971.com. What a day. Anything you want to add, Hollywood?
Great show, man.
All right. 4 to 6 again, right? Tuesday?
4 to 6
That's
Tuesday.
our remote.
Sturgeon City.
All right. Anything else? Oh, yeah. The big doings this weekend at the track. We got a little late start today because we had some folks from the track. The young racer with us today, Katie Hettinger.
Very
go
impressive.
Out there. Yeah, go out there and root her on. I'd love to see her do really well this weekend.
You know, we forgot to ask her off the air, between the transition here to rookie. I was just impressed. I was like, the conditioning that these drivers have. And she was like, she gets beat up. She takes a bunch of ibuprofen before she races because she gets beat up so bad.
Tell her to wait till she gets 55.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're like, she's 16, she's fine.
She takes ibuprofen before she's not getting ready to get beat up. She's 55.
But usually she runs like, she works out 6 days a week, runs like 5 miles 3 times a week. And
maybe I need to start that.
Yeah, it would help you. You'd probably feel better.
Yeah, if you see me running 5 miles, please shoot whatever is chase me for 5 miles because it's about to kill me. Thank you, and we'll see you next week on Sports Talk.
This week on Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s, we're taking you back to April 20th, 1974. You'll hear all the top 40 hits and great stories as only Casey could tell them. So be sure to join us this weekend for American Top 40, the 70s.
Check out Casey Saturday mornings 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
At AutoZone, we've always been here to help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. Needing some battery help? We've got you. Whether it's a free battery test or a free charge, we can help you get started again. And if it's time for a replacement, we've got a full selection of batteries starting at $79.99. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Based on data